Let's be honest. If you've ever been to a football trial, you've probably seen players trying all kinds of things to stand out. Some are forcing skills, some are shooting whenever they get the chance, some are trying impossible passes, and some are just running around hoping they'll get noticed. But here's the thing, scouts don't evaluate players the way you think they do. They're not just watching for highlights. They're trying to figure out whether a player has the qualities needed to succeed at the next level. And to do that, they rely on 6 core pillars that help them judge almost every player, regardless of position. In this video, we're breaking down exactly what scouts look for and how you can train these pillars to make sure you stand out for the right reasons. Let's dive in. The first pillar scouts look at is physicality. But this doesn't just mean being tall or looking muscular. You've probably seen players who look physically strong off the pitch but struggle with balance, mobility, duels, or protecting the ball under pressure. Meanwhile, another player might not look intimidating at all, but still dominates physically because of how well they move and use their body. Here's what scouts actually pay attention to. How stable are you when challenged? Can you stay on your feet in 50-50 duels? Can you stay balanced while turning quickly? A defender who recovers and sprints back into position. Can you protect the ball under pressure? A midfielder who shields the ball from 2 opponents. How well does your body handle the intensity and physical demands of the game? Key takeaway: football physicality isn't about size. It's about how effectively your body works in real match situations. And honestly, scouts can usually spot these things very quickly once the game starts. How to train it: balance drills. Practice one-legged stands, 30 seconds per leg, to improve stability. Strength training. Focus on functional strength, squats, lunges, core work to handle physical battles. Shielding drills. Work on body positioning to protect the ball under pressure. For example, 1v1 battles with a teammate. Most players hear the word speed and immediately think about sprinting. But scouts look much deeper than that. They're not just watching how fast you are, they're watching how you move. Here's what they're evaluating. How quickly can you accelerate? A winger who explodes past a defender in the first 5 yards. How explosive are your first few steps? A striker who beats the offside trap with a burst of speed. Can you create separation from an opponent when it matters? A midfielder who uses a quick change of pace to escape pressure. And just as importantly, can you slow down and stay in control once you get there? Key takeaway: football isn't a 100-meter race. Players are constantly starting, stopping, changing direction, and reacting to what's happening around them. That's why you'll sometimes see a player who isn't the fastest on the pitch still look incredibly quick in matches. Their acceleration, timing, and movement make them far more effective than someone with raw speed alone. How to train it: short sprints. Practice 5 to 10-yard bursts to improve acceleration. Change of pace drills. Alternate between slow and fast dribbling to wrong foot defenders. Agility ladder drills. Improve footwork and quickness for tight spaces. Imagine 2 players receive the exact same pass. One player's first touch kills the ball instantly, creates space, and sets up their next action. The other takes an extra touch, loses momentum, and suddenly the opportunity is gone. That's how small technical differences can completely change a game. Scouts don't just look for fancy skills. They focus on the fundamentals that show up over and over again during a match. First touch: can you control the ball cleanly under pressure? Passing: are your passes accurate and well-timed? Ball control: can you keep possession in tight spaces? Dribbling: can you beat a defender 1v1? Crossing/finishing: can you deliver quality in the final third? Key takeaway: at higher levels, the game moves fast. Players don't have unlimited time on the ball. The cleaner your technique, the easier it becomes to execute under pressure. And that's exactly what scouts want to see. Not just what you can do when everything is comfortable, but how well your technique holds up when the game becomes difficult. How to train it: wall passes. Improve first touch and passing accuracy. 20 minutes daily. Ball mastery drills. Work on inside/outside touches, sole rolls, and toe taps to sharpen control. Pressure drills. Practice dribbling and passing under pressure, for example, 1v1s with a defender. Some players always seem to have more time on the ball than everyone else. That's because they see things before they happen. That's football intelligence. Scouts pay close attention to how players read the game. Here's what they're looking for. Are you scanning your surroundings before receiving the ball? Example: a midfielder who checks over their shoulder before a pass arrives. Do you recognize danger early? Example: a defender who anticipates a through ball and steps up to intercept. Can you spot spaces, passing lanes, and opportunities before other players notice them? Example: a winger who sees a gap and exploits it with a run. Decision making. Do you know when to pass, when to dribble, when to slow the game down, and when to speed it up? Key takeaway: football is a game of decisions. The best players aren't always the most athletic or the most skillful. Often, they're the players making the right choice again and again throughout the match. And while goals and skills might grab attention, intelligence is often what separates good players from players who can consistently perform at a high level. How to train it. Watch full matches. Study how pros in your position read the game, for example, Pedri's scanning, Busquets' positioning. Small-sided games. Play 3 versus 3 or 4 versus 4 to improve decision-making under pressure. Film your games. Review your decisions. What worked? What didn't? This is probably one of the hardest things to measure, but scouts still pay a lot of attention to it, because sooner or later, every player makes a mistake. You lose the ball. You miss a chance. You misplace a pass. You get beaten in a duel. What happens next? That's what scouts are watching. Here's what they're looking for. Do you drop your head and disappear from the game? Or do you immediately refocus and keep going? Confidence. Do you believe in your abilities even after a mistake? Resilience. Can you bounce back from setbacks? Professionalism. Do you take responsibility for your actions? Willingness to compete. Do you stay engaged no matter what's happening in the match? Key takeaway. Scouts are constantly watching these reactions. They're looking for players who stay composed under pressure, take responsibility, and continue working even when things aren't going their way. How to train it. Mental resilience drills. After a mistake in training, immediately ask for the ball back and try again. Visualization. Spend 5 minutes a day imagining yourself staying calm under pressure. Journaling. Write down one mistake and one success from every game to build self-awareness. Have you ever noticed how some players seem involved in everything? They're making runs, tracking back, pressing opponents, supporting teammates, and somehow still finding energy late in the game. Meanwhile, other players look great when the ball comes to them, but the moment they lose possession, they almost switch off. That's where work rate comes in. Scouts pay close attention to what players do when they don't have the ball, because football isn't just about attacking, it's about contributing to the team in every phase of the game. Here's what they're evaluating. Defensive work. Do you track back to help your team? Pressing. Do you apply pressure to opponents? Supporting teammates. Do you make runs to create options? Stamina. Can you maintain intensity for the full 90 minutes? Key takeaway. At higher levels, talent alone isn't enough. Coaches want players they can trust to work for the team, stay disciplined, and maintain their intensity throughout the match. And honestly, work rate is one of the quickest ways to earn respect from both scouts and coaches. How to train it. Conditioning drills. Improve endurance with interval training, for example, sprints plus recovery jogs. Defensive drills. Practice tracking back and pressing in small-sided games. Game simulation. Play full 90-minute matches to build stamina and work rate. The red flags scouts notice instantly and how to avoid them. Now that you know what scouts look for, let's talk about what makes them lose interest in a player. Here are the instant red flags that will get you overlooked. Poor body language. Slouching, looking disinterested, or giving up after a mistake. Lack of awareness. Not scanning the field, tunnel vision, or always being the last to react. One-dimensional play. Only using one foot, one move, or one style of play. Low work rate. Not tracking back, not pressing, or disappearing when the ball isn't near you. Bad attitude. Arguing with teammates, blaming others, or showing a lack of respect. Inconsistency. Looking great in drills but disappearing in games. How to avoid them. Stay engaged, even when you're not directly involved in the play. Be versatile. Train both feet, practice multiple skills, and adapt to different positions. Work hard. Always give 100% effort, whether you have the ball or not. Stay positive. Maintain a good attitude, even in tough moments. Most players will keep going to trials unprepared. They'll keep forcing skills that don't fit the game, ignoring the fundamentals scouts actually care about, switching off when they don't have the ball, and they'll keep wondering why they're not getting noticed. But if you're still here, you're different. You understand that scouts don't just look for talent, they look for the complete package, and you're ready to train like a pro to stand out. Here's your action plan to impress at your next trial. Train physicality. Balance, mobility, shielding. Improve pace and speed. Acceleration, change of pace, agility. Sharpen technical quality. First touch, passing, control under pressure. Develop intelligence. Scanning, decision-making, game awareness. Strengthen mentality. Resilience, confidence, professionalism. Boost work rate. Defensive work, pressing, stamina. If this helped you, like and subscribe for more game-changing secrets. And if you're serious about getting scouted, join my free Discord community, link in description, where we break down exactly how to train like the pros. Now go train. Your next trial is your chance to show scouts that you're not just another player, You're the complete package. And remember, scouts don't just want skill, they want a player they can trust. So start building that trust today.